Sorry if I missed any chat comments, guys. I'm working on camp chores here. Trying to organize this thing better. You guys know how these live streams go with the comments disappearing sometimes, so if I miss your comment, I do apologize. Budget and budget? 2 budgets? You two ought to get together and just say free. Hey Pam, how you doing, sweetheart? Take a look around here real quick. Got y'all on the tripod right now. We'll be going handheld here for too much longer. Bulking up the old wiki up. I had some patchwork to do over here on the west side of it. Whenever I came in, she had sunlight peeking in, and I don't want sunlight peeking in. If the sun gets in, then everything else gets in too. But that's what happens with the debris shelter. You gotta maintain them. You gotta come out and patch them up every now and again. That's what I'm doing today. Just patchwork, really. I'm gonna be building my bed frame. I got some wood over there. I'm gathering up more debris to keep throwing on top of the shelter. But I'm gonna be building a raised bed on the inside, and I got my frame log laid out. But I'm not gonna do that shit. Thank you, Pam. I'm not gonna do that shit where guys lay logs down and then try to mat on top of it. I don't know why they lay those logs down. They're thinking that it gets them up off the ground higher, I guess, gives you that dead air space in there. I'm not gonna do that because it makes them uncomfortable as fuck. I'm just gonna make an extra thick mattress using different types of materials. We're gonna use leaves, grasses, boughs, that kind of thing. Just make an extra thick mat and basically have a squirrel's nest on the inside of the wiki up. And the way that I got that wiki up set up with the poly tarp and that back dome being extra thick, the sleeping area dome in the back, we'll go ahead and take a look at that real quick. I don't think I'll have any problems. I won't need that coffee. Yeah, smash that thumbs up. I ain't got no coffee today. Back here at this back dome, you see how it's the shape of it. It kind of, instead of it being teepee, it kind of bows out right there. That section right there, that's just extra heavy material on the back dome. It's like a heat trap. So I got the smoke vent up all the way at the top, and then I got this extra little ledge here that's my heat dome. So I get the smoke going out, but I have this little bubble at the top that'll trap heat, and it just happens to be right above where the sleeping area on the inside of the thing is. So there's a lot of details to that pile of damn sticks that you wouldn't otherwise notice. I want to show you guys something. Check this out. The fall colors are coming in. That's the backyard. That's overlooking the tributary going down. You know, we hiked up that tributary, and we got down in there and we found that waterfall area. Fall colors are popping all over the place, guys. And we'll take a walk real quick here. Get outside of camp. This is the front yard. So got a lot of red and gold coming out. Primarily gold this year. Not a lot of red, so not a lot of maples in the area. But we are going to take a walk up here real quick because I want you guys to see the overlook of the creek. And you know I love doing this shit. We run our asses at the camp. Hold on a sec, forgot something. Technical difficulties of live streaming out in the woods. You forget shit, and then you gotta go back and get it. Anything can happen on live stream. All right, let's go. I got this little ridge here. Acts as sort of a windbreak, but I noticed the terrain. I got this ridge going down, straight down to the camp. And you would think that floodwater would just head right down in there, but it doesn't. The floodwaters that come, up through here flow down this other side of the ridge and either on down into the creek or right past my camp. So I do pay attention to the subtleties of the terrain, and I'll show you one of those subtleties here in a sec. This here is a low-lying area. Can't really make it out on the video, but it goes down to where this tree fell here. And this tree probably fell because the ground was so saturated right here. And you can tell that there's been water flowing through here just by how the terrain looks. So it flows right past my camp down into this lower lying area and then on down to the creek. We'll get up here real quick. I'll show you guys the main river that runs through this section of forest. We need to get down there and do some fishing, but we won't be fishing down there today because it has been raining all week and the main river is just a little bit angry. There she is. That's one hell of a drop. It's about I don't know, 500 foot from this point. We going up there that way, and it gets a little bit higher. But there's the view as far as we can see through the hemlocks. So not a bad day out here. It's I don't know, mid 50s I think. It's a good work day. I'm having some fun out here. I'm just gathering up debris. Oh, check these out. I'll turn this shit around again. I didn't know these were up here. These are the puff balls, little puff balls full of spores. These are kind of empty. Let's see what these do. I like to get them spores out there. These fucking things keep growing. Wind's up a little bit, but we do have some miniature puff balls in the area. Those are edible. Again, if I miss your guys' comments, I'm sorry. It's disappearing from me really fast on my iPhone today. But feel free to talk in the chat window. Subscribe to each other if you can. And if you subscribe to somebody, at least go check out their content. Don't just subscribe and be one of those dead weight subscribers. Here's something new. I didn't notice that was there before. That's a crystal. I've been roaming around this damn hunting camp for months now and just now noticed this crystal. That is a big hunk of crystal too. She's in there tight. I don't know how deep that goes down, but I'll have to remember that chunk's there and dig her on out. That's a big motherfucker. Going back down here to camp. I'm so excited to be able to get down here and do an overnighter. This thing is a beast. That's pretty much the condo of bushcrafting camps right there. So go over here real quick. This is the limb that I got just to do the outer frame of my bed on the inside of the wickiup. I'm gonna cut that thing down to length, however long I need it. And the only reason I'm using that is, one, I need that to hold the material in. And as I put my matting down, I'll put grasses over it, long grasses, and they'll be laying not vertical but horizontal against the bed, and they'll be tucked up underneath that log and another log on the back side. So you got this kind of a dome there, and that grass holds everything together. Thank you, Red Man, and thank you for joining. Appreciate y'all stopping by. I'm gonna sit down here, get cozy for a minute, and that way I can pay attention to the comments window and I can actually talk to everybody that's in here. Got 14 people in the room. I appreciate y'all showing up. So while I'm sitting here, everybody, one more time, if I did not see your comment earlier, if you came into the room and you ain't said shit yet, you antisocial bastards. Hey, Tree Rat. Old bones are hurting today. Man, my old bones hurt every day, but I know what you can do for old bones hurting. I do. This. Alright, so we'll sit around here real quick. Who all's in the room? I got 14 of you. I see you, Tree Rat Budget. I know you're here. Earlier today, if you guys aren't subscribed to Burnwood, go check out Camouflage, Guns, Rednecks, and Beer. It's like my family tree right there. After a hard day of doing nothing, it's good to kick back. Ex-Savage Paranormal, hi, how you doing? Appreciate you stopping by. A lot of paranormal guys in here. I like paranormal shit. I'm just packing my pipe here. Usually whenever I'm out, I smoke a pipe. Whenever I'm out in the woods, I smoke a pipe. The reason I smoke a pipe when I'm out in the woods is because I don't like smoking cigarettes out here at the cherry falls, especially in the fall on a dry day. If your cherry falls off your cigarette, you can start a goddamn fire. Pipe, you don't have to worry about cherry falling. Yeah, that 2 a.m. shit, Budget. You're lucky I woke up, you son bitch. We do. Hey, we have a good time in our late night live streams, though. Prospector and like hunting. That's pretty cool. I was actually subscribed to Serving from My Home. Hey, honey, how you doing? I was actually subscribed to a couple of prospecting channels. Those boys out west doing some gold digging. That was pretty awesome shit. Up here where I'm at, the only thing that I would prospect, I guess you could say, is the rose quartz crystals, and those came from the last ice age. Glacier dropped them off in my area, and I found the deposit, so I go out there hunting those every once in a while. Yeah, last night was cool. Some of us are night owls. I just happened to wake up. You know, I was sound asleep. I was dreaming of this woman, and then I was like, I interrupted my own dream. I said, shit, I bet Budget's streaming right now. I better get my ass out of bed and just go over there and talk to him. So I stopped my hot girl dreaming and went and hung out with you, Budget. That's how much I love you, man. Live by gold country. You like it out there in Cali, Tree Rat? A lot of desert out there. My pipe tobacco. My pipe tobacco is usually smoking Captain Black out of a pouch. This stuff stays pretty moist out here. You don't like it out in Cali? Smoke Captain Black, drinking Budweiser. I was smoking this in the house last night. My wife started calling me an old man. Thank you. I appreciate that. I try to keep it a good channel. I'm not exactly family friendly, but there's enough family friendly shit out there. Need something for the adults, which is beer, smoking, and cussing. 18 people in the live stream right now and 9 thumbs up. The fuck are you other 9 at? I really don't care. I don't pay too much attention to the thumbs up or thumbs down stuff. Now, if you do thumbs up, if your liked video stream is public, then this video shows up on your channel and other people can find it. So if you do like it and you do have that that stream public on your channel, it is networking quite a bit. Late night adult shit. I like it. And that's a good name for a live stream. We'll just start doing like a 3 a.m. thing, and it's just called late night adult shit. I'll bet a lot of people would show up. This channel is a relief. I'll tell you what, my channel's not for everybody. I didn't try to make this channel for everybody. I wanted to do something different. You know, I spent months watching the other big channels to see what they were doing and what they weren't doing, and I wanted to do an alternative because nobody wants to see the same shit from a different guy, right? At least I know I'd get bored doing it. I'm not gonna, if somebody puts out a bushcraft video that says how to start a fire, I'm not watching the son of a bitch because I already know how to start a fire. I've seen it done a million times in 1,000 different ways. Never see anybody going out there with a zip boat though. I do. Yeah, I wanted the Huntsman channel to be a breath of fresh air for a lot of people. I wanted to do something different. Now, granted, I'm never going to be able to network with the big channels like TA Outdoors or MCQ or Little Joey Robinette. They're never going to network with me because they don't like my approach to I'm not a greedy bastard out here trying to take y'all's money. And they're entrepreneurs or whatever they fucking want to call themselves, however they want to sell it. They consider themselves businessmen. Whenever they come out to the woods, they're out here to make money. Whenever they're looking at their video views, they're not concerned about their followers or any of that shit. When you got that many followers, you can't pay attention to them all anyway. Everybody on those channels is nothing but a number. If you don't show up in their analytics report or their revenue stream, they really don't give a shit about you. Backwoods Ramblers, how's it going? The other thing that got pointed out to me now, Inspired John, Yankees Outdoors Adventures, Burnwood, those boys were talking about me on some videos that'll be coming out today if they're not out already. And Inspired John last night pointed out to me that he didn't really consider me a bushcrafter because I don't do a lot of the crafting part. This ain't arts and crafts day. He considers me an adventurer because I'm always off, you know, wandering off into the woods and getting lost and shit. But a lot of the adventures that I've had is just scouting this area around my camp, this whole section of woods. You guys got to keep in mind that the forest I'm in is like 52,000 acres and 200 miles. So there's a lot of area to scout, and I want to know what the hell is around me. I want to know my ins and outs in every single direction, and that's just for my safety. But it's also, you know, it's pretty good filming content, but I want to know this woods inside and out. And on the other end of that, if you do know your area inside and out, say somebody, yeah, you've been hearing a lot about Burnwood. Burnwood's an asshole though, man, I tell you what. No, Burnwood's a good channel, you gotta go check him out, he's fun. Let's say the other side of all the scouting and stuff that I do and exploring the forest, let's say somebody wandered out here and got lost, right? There's been instances where people come into this woods and it takes them days to find them. And if they come and grab me, I've already been to every goddamn corner of the woods. I know the ins and outs, I know the nooks and crannies, so I could actually help out rangers if they need a scout to go find somebody who's lost in the woods, just because I'm out here all the time. And I go to places that no other people go to. Weekend Warrior Outdoors. It's going this way. That's south to north. $17, I think that's a top for this, for my live streams. Get drunk and adventure close to the cliff in the dark. You know what? I do come out here, and this past week, the Huntsman beer salute has been gaining popularity on social media, primarily Facebook. I popped in a Facebook group, and before I was even a member of that Facebook group, people in that group were talking about my channel and how I'm out here, you know, sampling beers out in the woods, and I'm cussing and I'm doing all this shit that you guys see me do. And some of them were saying, you know, a couple weeks back that my channel wouldn't go nowhere, and then we hit 3K, and everybody's like, how the fuck does he do it? And I don't know what to tell them, because I don't know. You either like me or you don't. I ain't trying to come out here and be likable to everybody. Tree rat, quit peeing. This ain't about being likable. The Huntsman channel's not being about family-friendly content. It's not about it's not about trying to please everybody or make money off of every single video. If you guys see my channel, you know there's a lot of videos on there that are not monetized, that can't be monetized because it has copyrighted content in it. I put out music videos and all kinds of shit. My channel is about entertainment. I hope you learn some stuff from it, and I hope it inspires you to get outside and do some stuff. But this is entertainment, guys. This ain't a Bushcraft 101. If you want Bushcraft 101, there's a million channels out there that'll give you Bushcraft 101 and sell you all the gear that you don't need. You're not going to see it here. You're not going to see me accepting sponsors. You got to open up your eyes, Richard. If you can't see anything, it means your eyes are closed. Yeah, I try to be entertaining. I try to be entertaining, but I'm not pretending to be anybody. I'm just coming out here doing, you know, what I've always done. Let's go ahead and take another little quick walk here. It's starting to get a little dark. We're getting closer to sunset, so I'll give you guys another tour for those who just came in. We got 21 in the room now, so we'll take a little walk and check some things out here real quick. You don't need to be looking at my ugly mug. Turn around. There you go. So that is the front yard of the hunting camp. If you guys see my last episode, you know I've been tracking a herd of deer through here. I will not be killing any of the deer that come into this area. I want to keep them around. I come out here, I feed them, I capture them on film, we get the trail cams, you know, some real cool footage, and I want that herd to stay around for a good long time. But that right there is the front yard of the Huntsman camp. Wide open, no fences, no bullshit. Let's take a walk here. Yes, it is beautiful. I love it out here. So we got the tank of a wiki up. I'd show you guys inside the wiki up, but I'll tell you what. Let's try this real quick. I do have my lantern with me, but I'll bet you it's still going to be dark as shit in here. It's going to be like going into a cave, but we'll see what we can do here. Bear with me. So inside the wiki up, as I said in my last episode, this is a hybrid shelter. You can see the polytarp layer there. That polytarp is the inside heat rain barrier. That's going to save my ass this winter, and it's primarily over the back dome. I'll get in here real quick if I can get enough light going on. The wiki up is so bulky that light just does not get inside this thing. But I'll get in here, see if I can give you guys some perspective on just how big this sumbitch is on the inside. Bear with me. Alright, so this is inside the wiki up. I could stretch my arms out to the two beams, and the floor goes down even lower. I cannot reach both sides of the wiki up. It's that big. So this back area, like I said back here, I got this heavier dome of material up here. Sleeping area, have an inside campfire here. It'll be in the ground, and there'll be a stone at the base of that. And that stone is, number one, it'll absorb a lot of the heat going into the ground so it doesn't catch the duff so much. And it'll radiate heat long after that fire goes out. It'll also disperse the heat through the ground itself. So what I need to do back here yet though is record to measure out the length of my bed. Obviously I got plenty of room. Probably got 2 or 3 feet of room at my head and my feet. So I'll mark that out with paracord, then I can take that length of paracord outside, measure it up against my log, and I know exactly how long that log needs to be to go from one end to the other. And then I'll just frame that part in and start working on my matting for the inside bed. But I have been out here on pretty cold days. Got a little campfire going here on the inside of the wiki up, and it was warm as hell even without the door on it. So it was a pretty good deal. And we'll turn around here and we'll take you to the back. So this is my view from inside the wiki up. That little collapsible camp lantern that I got there is bright as shit, even in midday. Taken down. Yeah, there's the view outside. Now I do have a door that goes on that. I'm gonna be strapping that door up to the thing one time whenever I'm in here. A big ass nest. And for those who haven't seen it yet, the way we got this set up, you got all that shit on the wiki up itself, the polytarp on the inside for an extra layer of insulation. On the outside we got dry storage area, and this is the primary windbreak. Normally the winds that come up through this valley come from the west. That's west. So winds coming through here will hit this, and that force wind won't even be able to make it to the front of the wiki up, with the door being the soft spot. That blocks that direct hit of wind hitting the soft spot of the wiki up. So that is why that's there. Plus I'll have my winter firewood stored up underneath there, so I don't have to go process wood every fucking time I come out to the woods. This is the length of log that I'll be using to build my bed frame with. And yeah, it's a good setup, guys. It's a damn good setup. That guest house, yeah. I actually, that little lean-to right there, I actually did not intend for that to be any sort of a shelter. Yeah, the wiki up is a hybrid. Whenever I said it's a hybrid, or whenever I said it's a hyper shelter, you know how the super shelters is just a lean-to like this here with plastic over the front. Well, that's one thing, but a hyper shelter is this sumbitch with plastic on the inside. So that's why I called that a hyper shelter in that video. That's about as good an insulation as you're going to get whenever it comes to wiki up. Having that extra layer of polytarp in there is just, it's just a heat dome. And polytarp lasts, you know, it's only like, you can get 10 by 10 polytarp for like $10. So I'm not losing anything if I leave it out here. Yeah, polytarp shell is good to have. I would not want to use up, I would not want to leave out a canvas tarp out here. Polytarp, like I said, a polytarp's only $10. So if you use it in a semi-permanent shelter build, you're really not out anything. You know what I'm saying? Now, if I go out and I spend $40, $50 on a canvas tarp just because the market wants to rip my ass off, I'm not going to leave that in a setup like this. A $10 polytarp buried underneath all that, I don't care. I thought that was a good deal, and it might save my ass come winter time because it gets cold up here in Northeast Ohio. I get lake effect snow, and yeah, see, $4. Yeah, polytarps are cheap as hell, and they, you know, if you get a ripstop polytarp, man, they can go through a hurricane and be fine. Arizona. I bet you're a lot warmer than I am today. Yeah, I wouldn't want to do a semi-permanent shelter like this with a canvas tarp. I do want to get another canvas tarp. I got one. I want to get another one, and well, ain't nothing stopping you, son. Go get you a damn beer. A canvas tarp's good to have whenever you're traveling or whenever you're doing solo overnighters and you're just running out camping. Where am I from? I'm from Northeast Ohio. Only 80 degrees out today. It's like 50 here, if I'm lucky. Oh shit, there's the wifey. I gotta behave now. Hey, if you guys could go ahead and, we're a half an hour into this thing, if you could tweet this, share it on Facebook, get a few more people in here, I'd appreciate it. Let everybody know that we're streaming live here today. Go ahead and subscribe to each other's channels. Yeah, have a good old time in that goddamn comment section. There are no rules on this channel. Heard of Lakewood. Yeah, that's not too far from me. Rain in Indiana, that's not good. Yeah, that's YouTube, sweetheart. Sometimes YouTube sends out notifications if you have that bell icon. You can go to the channel and make sure that bell icon's still clicked, because here lately, YouTube has been kicking that bell icon off of a lot of channels. And I read one article where YouTube is kicking that bell icon off of inactive subscribers. So if you're not active on that channel, or you're not commenting, or you're not going into their live streams, they'll kick that bell icon off. If you're not active on that channel, they're not going to send you notifications for that channel. And that might be one of the reasons why a lot of your subscribers, like 99.9% of your subscribers, are not watching your content. So whenever you go to these live streams and you're saying, hey, come check out my channel, you might get somebody who says, yeah, I'll come check it out. You'll get one view out of this son bitch and then they don't come back. And if, again, I've said it before, if you look at your analytics reports, most of your views do not come from subscribers. They come from unsubscribed people. There are probably some unsubscribed people right here in this live stream. There are probably some people that came to this live stream and then unsubscribed because I'm a dick. Duck jerky, beer, pepperoni, and bratwurst. I tend to marinate everything in beer. Yeah, Court can vouch for that. Whew. I'm not getting any work done, guys. I should take you over there with me. I'd cut down the damn log real quick and get my bread frame set up. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. See, now you guys are gonna have to tweet and share this fucking video, because this is one of those videos where you're gonna see Huntsman do some goddamn wood processing for the millionth fucking time in a bushcraft video. Goddamn people, man! I swear, you'd think those bigger channels for the entrepreneurs, and as smart as they think they are, they come up with some new fucking content. But no, let's walk over here real quick. That shoulder is badass. Well, if you go around talking and acting like I do, and you do not have a bad motherfucking shoulder to back your ass up, something wrong. You know, we're gonna get this up here to the old workstation. You see, I got a fork in there. I gotta get that fork out. I want to stay with the larger diameter. I want to get that little fucker off of there. I don't need that. These leaves up here at the top, I'm actually gonna be. You want to see the lean-to? 1 second here. We're going to be putting those leaves, anything that I cut like this, these wire branches and shit like that off, I put them right on the shoulder. So there's the setup, if you guys didn't see it. Lean-to over there, wiki up right there, side by side, one structure reinforcing the other. That's a windbreak. I don't sleep underneath there. I don't do much activity underneath there. Sometimes I store my beer underneath there, or I throw my pack underneath there, get it out of the rain. But that I am not treating as a shelter. I'm treating it as a windbreak. That's the damn shelter. Because if you have something like that, if you invest something in time into something like that, why are you using something like that? And I'm into home decor, so I got the old deer bones on there. I actually picked these deer bones up in an earlier episode while I was out filming. So even the deer bones that I pick up while I'm out filming, I recycle into something. And there's your standard bushcraft gear. And now we're gonna go over here. We're gonna cut this damn thing down so I can make me a bed and act like Goldilocks, because my bed has to be perfect. So we're gonna cut this down real quick. Nice and easy, like. And another thing, guys, this is not a fancy ass fucking expensive saw. You saw me cut through that. This thing's like fucking $4. Budget bushcraft. moment in history right there. Huntsman done did some fucking wood processing on a fucking live video. The world is gonna end. Yes, it does. A saw is a saw is a saw, if you ask me. And you see everybody out there, soggy boys and all this expensive shit. They probably got paid to say that. Oh, I got this fancy ass saw. Mine works just fine, son. And, you know, shit like this, I just cut that off. I just chuck that shit up there and make it messy. Yes, I do have the best saw skills. I've had lots of practice, and I've never cut myself on a saw. I have on my knife, though. I'll show you guys my knife here in a second. Now, I got what you could consider an expensive bushcraft knife, to be honest. My knife is a one-of-a-kind deal, and if somebody were to sell it, they could sell this knife for a couple $100. But I didn't pay a damn dime for it. My knife was handmade, and I won it in a contest over on the Facebook group Deep Woods Bushcraft and Survival, and some of you guys might have seen this knife before. But this is the Huntsman, the official knife of the series, and this ain't no goddamn Survival Lily knife. This is an actual bushcrafted knife, so you can see that there. We got the black pearl scales on that thing, which is totally my style, and this is actual steel. You can see the patina on it. Of course, I got some dirt on there because I've been using it out here today. But this is my go-to knife. This thing has held a razor's edge. I haven't had to sharpen this knife since the guy gave it to me in that contest. I'll never let this knife go. This knife is my go-to knife. Now, I do have, I'll show you here real quick. I do have a backup knife on my pack. I keep that strapped right to the side of my pack. Because, you know, whenever you're out here and you're using shit and you're throwing shit around and you're mud skiing and doing all the shit that I do, if for whatever reason you misplace a knife, you need a backup, and I always carry a backup knife. Don't carry a backup axe. I do carry backup beers. I don't just bring one, because that's some bullshit. But I always have that backup knife strapped to my pack. I don't carry it on my person. I keep it on the pack. As long as I can find my pack, I can find that knife. So that's just one of those things. I have been out here before. I've dropped my iPhone and I had to backtrack through the woods to go find my iPhone in the middle of all this shit. Sometimes you just drop stuff, and I hope to God I never drop this knife. I try to keep it secure on my person, but you guys have seen the shit that I do in this series. I mean, I'm jumping off of cliffs and climbing trees, and yep. Couple knives and have, man, budget if you can. Find a guy that can make you a custom knife. You're gonna see a lot of shit coming up on my channel here in the near future that you don't see other bushcrafters using. The kind of stuff that I'm gonna be bringing into the channel is from the late early 1900s. That's the kind of gear that I'm gonna be using. It's unique looking. But yeah, we're talking stuff that's 200-300 years old that I'm going to be using out here instead of what's on the market right now. If you can find something that sort of matches your personality, give that thing a name, and you'll be good to go. Let me go grab that log real quick. Well, that came out to be a perfect cut, and I just guessed on that one. I didn't measure it out, but it came out perfect. Take you guys in there a minute and show you something, but I need to bring something up here real quick. I'm in a bit of an emergency situation. that's not gonna work. So you get thirsty when you're cutting wood. Oh man, I would love that too. One of these days, you know, whenever my channel hits, you know, 1 million subscribers and we do all that fun stuff, which it'll happen, right? You know, mine's gonna be the biggest fucking outdoors bushcrafting channel on God's green fucking earth. And all the guys that didn't want to work with me at the get are gonna come back and say, man, let's do a collab. And I'm gonna say, man, fuck off. You weren't with me at the beginning. Don't come to me at the end whenever I surpass your ass, because that's my goal. I'm not gonna come out here and just you know, hang out and do all this shit for shits and giggles. I want to be the best damn outdoors channel there is. And in order to do that, my approach to do that is just being different from what everybody else is doing. I'm not trying to do the lemming syndrome shit, you know, follow the leader. Oh, little Joey Robinette is doing this. I think I should go do it too. Do I look like a fucking Joey Robinette? No. Now, TA Outdoors, I do enjoy TA Outdoors. I enjoy watching their videos. But here's the thing with TA Outdoors. A couple weeks back, I put out a video where I filmed myself filming. It was a behind the scenes look at filming a bushcrafting video, right? I put that video out, kind of a cool deal, and all I did was I set another camera up in the background and I just filmed myself filming the episode. TA Outdoors the very next day releases a behind the scenes video where they're filming themselves filming an episode. That was cute, but it kind of pissed me off. I don't think TA Outdoors is subscribed to my channel, but I think they're watching. All those big channels that have hundreds of thousands of subscribers, they're watching my little ass channel because they need fresh new ideas for content. I don't speak well enough. Well, I tell you what, John. Never mind, John. I'm not going to do that to you in a live stream. But you only get one. Yeah, Budget's not doing too bad over there. Burnwood's doing pretty good. Burnwood deserves a lot more subscribers than what he's got. And I've talked about, you know, shooting a video of how Huntsman got so big so fast. I've only been out here 7 months, and I've got 3K. But I was networking, and I was working over social media for 3-4 months before the channel even premiered. So I had over 100 subscribers on the Huntsman channel before I released my first video. And that's a key to success with YouTube, and you'll see that in your analytics. A lot of my views and a lot of my subscribers aren't coming from YouTube. They're coming from forums. Forums are a big thing. I don't know either, Budget. Minded people, subscribers, and live streams. You grow your YouTube audience by going to platforms, by going to groups, by going to forums, by going to Reddit, Facebook, Twitter, and reaching out to people who are in your genre and posting on forums that are about your genre. And a big one for you guys that are doing outdoors type videos, go to You Do Outdoors. You Do. Why? Hunting and outdoors social media site. So if you guys are making outdoors content, go over to YouDo, start networking with people on YouDo, because there's a lot of hunters out there, especially the big channel hunters, are big on Instagram. Get death threats every single day from the vegans and from, you know, political. They're getting death threats and all this other shit. Yeah, you can't just grow from YouTube. Don't depend on YouTube. Don't be going to these channels that host these live streams saying they're going to build up your channel. Now, I go to Pooza Studios, and I've been with Pooza since I started my channel. The reason I go there now is because I meet other sub for sub bullshit. and it does not work. You go to Pooza Studios live stream, you get a channel shout out on one of their live streams, you'll get a lot of subs, but you will not get the views and watch time to go with it. They'll sub your channel and they'll just be dead weight. They don't watch your shit. So you can't, that tactic don't work. If you want to, and you got a network, you got to push your product, your videos out to other platforms, off of YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, get in Facebook groups. That's a big thing. You can know people that actually want to see your content. They're not just going to sub you because you were in a live stream and they think you're going to sub them back. Because my biggest video, I have videos that, you know, in my channel that are over 100K in views. Once you get that watch time, once everybody is seeing that video, then you get up on the YouTube homepage. They don't even have to be subscribed to your channel, they're getting recommended. Or that video shows up in recommended windows at the end of another video. So that's how you do that. You got to make sure that you fill in every fucking single tag that you can, guys. A lot of people aren't getting their videos out there because they're not using that tag section. You really got to think that out and use your tags. Your tags are what gets you noticed out there in whatever genre you're in. Yeah, you do outdoors. It's Y-U-D-U. So make sure you spelled it right. And if you look at my channel, I also do 3, 5, 10-second clips, and they're usually animated clips. I like to play around with that kind of program every once in a while. Those animated clips are designed specifically for social media. So if you guys were on Twitter earlier today, whenever I was announcing the live stream, you might have seen a 5 or 10-second clip, an animated clip that announced that I was going to be live today. I did that 3 hours before the live stream. That's how you do this kind of shit. And that's how you get more and more people into the chat rooms and into onto your channel. You just gotta create your own hype, really. And I excel at that. I'm confident in my abilities. I'm confident in my channel and the kind of content that I'm putting out, and I can hype that up. And I'm not selfish about it, or, you know, arrogant about it, really. I guess it could come across as arrogant or egotistical, but you know, I think I'm full of it. Looks like I'm full of myself because I'm plugging my own channel. But you're never going to see TA Outdoors, MCQ Bushcraft, Hidden Woodsman, or Little Joey Robinette plug in the Huntsman channel because they don't like me. And the reason they don't like me is because I'm growing at like cancer to their channels. I am the cancer of the big channels because I will not accept sponsorships. That's what's making me different. That's the big thing that's making me different, is I'm not going to give you guys a 10% off code. And here's the deal with the 10% off code. They'll say, if you use this code, if you use Joey Robinette to go buy this tarp or to go buy this canteen, you get 10% off. What they don't tell you is that they get a commission for every single one that they sell. So let's say Joe Robinette puts out a video and says, if you use the code Robinette, you save 10% on your titanium canteen. What he's not telling you is he gets 20% because you use that code. So you're paying twice. Now, if a company comes at a guy like me and he goes, hey, if you get your followers to go out and buy this canteen, we'll give you a code to get them 10% off, and we'll give you a 20% commission. So that's 30% of the cost right there, right? They're giving me 10%, or they're giving you 10%, they're giving me 20%. They're still making a profit after they offered up that 30%. So imagine what their production cost is for that product. If you go out and if you go to Joe's channel and he goes, I could save you 10% on a titanium canteen, and that titanium canteen company is offering him 20% commission, they're still making profit, or they wouldn't have made that offer. So that canteen is already marked up 30% more than the production cost, and that's just to cover the advertising and to reach you. Now, if they want to get into the profit part, you can bet that thing's jacked up 300 or 400, if not 1,000 times more than what it costs to actually produce it. So whenever you think, oh, I need a heavy cover canteen for 130 bucks, you can bet it only cost them 25 cents to make that fucking canteen, and the rest of it's overhead costs to get that product out to you. And it's the same with Survival Lily. She just
released a new knife that she designed. It comes from Taiwan. It's made out of shit metal. And the problem with her knife is that the pins are only coated. As soon as you get a scratch on that coating, it's going to rust off inside of the scales, and it's going to make your handle weak. Somebody a year or two from now is going to be using one of those knives, and that fucking handle is going to break on them. They're going to cut the shit out of themselves. And she's selling that shit. Yeah, I know, Redman, I know. I keep telling people this shit. Don't be stupid. Don't be going out there following these trendy little motherfuckers who are trying to, you know, push products every single video. But they don't listen. Some people can't be saved. Ah. We got 2 cans left. We're going to do a beer salute at the end of this. Can't get through a live stream without a beer salute. So I got my bed frame tucked in there. I can start putting my debris on that. Like I said, though, it rained a couple of days ago. This debris out here is pretty wet. I might wait for a dry day so I can stack that up, because I had to stack it up like 12 inches high to get 3 inches of material after it packs down. So I might wait for dry material. I don't know. I didn't get a lot of filming done today, but that's okay. Next week's episode is already uploaded. And budget bushcraft and survival gets mentioned at the very beginning of that episode. I was trying to work that in to my last episode, but it didn't happen. Stainless steel Pathfinder canteen. Pathfinder canteen's pretty cool. I don't know, guys. Whenever it comes to the gear, I'm a simple guy. I just come out here with whatever I can fucking afford to come out here with. Like I said, I do have new gear coming up. We're getting ready to go into phase 5 of the Huntsman developmental project that's running in the background of the series. I've talked about that before. Phase 5 is going to bring in gear from the late 18, early 1900s. So you're going to see me coming out here with some Victorian style gear. The kind of gear that Victorian explorers were using back in the day whenever they were going down into Africa and places like that. We got let's see, I got an old spyglass instead of binoculars. I got a sundial compass instead of anything digital. So we're going really, really old school with that kind of thing. I love the Victorian age. If you guys ever see the inside of my house, I have a Victorian house. Victorian style house. I have huge paintings up on my wall. Got a piano in my living room. Some of you guys have seen my treasure room. That's Victorian style with the leather and the lace and all that kind of thing. I'm really big into the Victorian age, and I don't know why. It probably doesn't suit my style really. If you first meet me or you see my content, you wouldn't think that I live in this Victorian style hardwood floor. Everything's leather and lace house and covered in antiques and stuff like that. But that's the way that I live. I love the Victorian stuff. It's some good gear, and it's cheap gear. You can get Victorian style gear, outdoors gear, pretty cheap, but it is hard to find. Now, there's a difference between looking for Victorian style traveler's gear or adventurer's gear and getting into steampunk. Steampunk is really popular right now, and if you go out anything steampunk, it's expensive shit. Just because it's trendy and because there's a whole subculture around steampunk. But what steampunk is based on the Industrial Revolution. It's Victorian style dress, but with a heightened focus on the Industrial Revolution. Whenever cities were basically, the modern city was basically invented, and everybody was building factories and shit like that. They got away from the outdoors and from urban type environments, and everything just went metropolitan overnight. I study a lot of the Victorian era because that's when society changed. We went from these little hamlets to booming megacities, and almost an instant. And people got a lot of things wrong whenever that happened. Whenever everybody went metropolitan, they fucked themselves up. They were using wallpaper that was laced with arsenic. They were basically killing themselves. And if you look at Victorian style homes, a lot of the doors and windows were never open. They wanted to keep all that shut because it was the Industrial Revolution, and there's all this smog, there's all this coal smoke everywhere, so they keep their house shut up. And they had green wallpaper that was laced with arsenic, so they were basically killing themselves inside of their own homes. I pay attention to that kind of thing. I like to research history. I like to research where mankind went wrong, and the Victorian era was a big part of where they went wrong, where they forgot how to do all this stuff and started relying on industrialization, chemicals, and mass manufacturing. And the mass manufacturing that started during the Victorian era trickles on down today. Everybody is still consumed with consumerism that started in the late early 1900s with the Victorian era. That's when the factories came in and everything was mass produced. And people got in this mindset of, it was a hoarder mindset. The more items you had, the more clutter you had in your house, the more social status you had. So, yeah, it did blow up in a bad way. Because of mass production, and you see mass production on a scale with outdoors equipment today, the mass-produced stuff is not as good as if I go to a guy in a bushcrafting group who has a forge in his garage, right? Everybody, and it's just like Survival Lily's knife. It's made in Taiwan. It's made in a factory in Taiwan, being mass produced. The reason she's going to mass produce it is she can, and whenever you start doing that, you sacrifice quality for quantity, and that's what happened with the Victorian era. Everything was, we need more, and the more stuff that you had, and the more stuff that you had, the more social status you had. And people still have that mindset today with bushcraft gear. They think that if they have all of this gear, it gives them a higher status in the community. They think that if they got a shit ton of subscribers, it gives them a higher status in the community. We still have that hoarder mass production mindset. Everybody's obsessed with, I need more gear, I need more subscribers, more. And I'm saying, cut the shit. I don't need anything but what I got right here. That right there is recycled material, aside from the polytarp. And you know that polytarp is mass produced, but it was mass produced for $10, which means it probably cost them a penny to print that sheet out. I don't have a lot of outdoors gear. I don't need a lot of outdoors gear. I don't have a closet full. I don't have a room full. I don't even have a backpack full. Look at this shit, guys. Look at my backpack today. Tobacco. All I got in there is fucking tobacco and my camera gear. I mean, that's it. I don't need that shit. I don't need to come out here for a live stream or an overnighter or anything but my knife and my beer, and I'm happy. Jesus Christ, you guys saw me do an overnighter right down the hill there with absolutely no gear whatsoever. I didn't even have a shelter that night. No campfire, no nothing. And holy shit, I survived. Anyway, guys, I got some work to do. We are an hour into this thing, and I got to get some stuff done before dark. I got to get some filming done before dark, so we're going to be wrapping this up. I appreciate everybody that stopped in. We are down to 9 now. I hope you learned a little something, and I hope you forgot a little something. I hope you enjoyed hanging out with me for Sunday afternoon. Holy shit, he survived. Yep. Yeah, I fucking curled it up in that hemlock grove with nothing. No fire, no light, no shelter, no nothing. And holy shit. And I did that just as a big fuck you to the big channels that says, oh my God, you can't go out without gear, you'll die. And I even had people on that video saying, you're going to get somebody killed. They're going to get hypothermia or you know, some shit. And I'm like, well, if they do, they probably didn't deserve to survive anyway. Okay, guys, we got to wrap up this live stream. I got work to do. I got another episode I want to get filmed before it gets dark. I appreciate everybody that stopped by. We're going to try to do this again sometime. The next live stream is going to be from a different area of the forest. So we will not be back here at the camp sitting on our asses for an hour. We are going to be exploring in the next live stream. It's going to be a hike. So we'll have some gear with us. We'll be going into a completely different landscape than what you've seen in the series before. Talking about how to get through that landscape and what can be used in that landscape. And we're all going to do that live. I like the live streams. I like the interactions with you guys. I hope you guys like it too. And I don't want these live streams to turn into a common thing. When Huntsman comes up, it comes out of fucking nowhere, really. I don't plan this shit out. I'm not going to do a scheduled live stream. I'm not going to try to build my channel on live streams. This is going to be a surprise. It's just going to come out of nowhere. So, like I said, we got to wrap this up. And when there's only one way Huntsman is going to wrap up a live stream, and that's like this.